Hello, and I want to welcome you to a discussion on exponential functions. Okay, so here is some information from the book and some notes. So we're going to have a function where you have a base, b, and x is denoted as an exponent. And as you see, there are some examples like f of x equals 2 to the x, where 2 is the base, x is the exponent, and it is a variable. And each of these functions has a constant base and a variable exponent. By contrast, the following functions are not exponential functions. So if you look at a variable like f of x equals x squared, that is much different than the f of x equals 2 to the x power, because that makes an exponential function, where the f of x equals x squared makes a parabola or quadratic function, which you'll learn about already, or you will have already learned about it. Alright, so let's get with this video. We're going to just take a look at the graph of an exponential function. Okay, so we have f of x equals 1/4 as the base to the power of just x. So the goal for this is to just make a chart of x and y values by just plugging in what x is in each case. So starting off, we have f of x is 1/4 to the x power, so we're going to plug -2 in. So we have 1/4 raised to the power of -2. What essentially happens when you have a negative power is it flips the fraction inside, which would just become 4, and then squared, since the negative took the fraction, it's reciprocal, so 4 squared is just 16. So at -2 we have a positive 16. And interesting enough, whenever we have a positive 2 down here, you can just take the reciprocal of what you got for -2. So we have 16. So for when we have a positive 2, it's going to be the reciprocal of 1/16, or 1/16. Okay, when we have a -1 in, let's have f of -1 equals 1/4 to the -1 power. Well, what happens is it flips the fraction of 1/4 to 4/1, or just 4, and then we have just to the first power, so we're just equal to 4. So at -1 we're equal to 4. And again, when we have the positive version of 1, we can just take the reciprocal of 1/4. And finally, to conclude, we have f of 0. So let's have f of 0 equals 1/4 to the 0 power. And anything to the 0 power is just 1. So the answer for 0, when f is 0, is just 1. Now if we plot our points, we can't plot the -2 because we don't have a -16 for the y. We can plot the -1 up 4 for the -1, 4. Okay, and then 0, 1 is the next point. Okay, and the 1/4 is going to be, you have to guess, somewhere about right there. And then 2/16 is even lower. So essentially with the graph of an exponential function, particularly for this one, it's going to look like that.